Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Basher and Biter Velociraptor Blue. Now, Blue was the beta in the Raptor Squad from Jurassic World, which consisted of Blue, Echo, Delta, and Charlie. And I'm just going to say this right now, this is going to break a lot of people's hearts, so I do apologize for doing so. In fact, my friend wasn't really happy with me when I said this, but I don't like Blue. I don't like Charlie. I don't like any of the Raptor Squad members because, to me, they just feel like, you know how, like, at kids' birthday parties, they might have, like, some guy dressed up as Superman or Batman or, like, some sort of superhero to, like, make the kids go, oh, wow, look, it's Spider-Man, or, oh, wow, it's Superman, or whatever. That's what Blue feels like to me. Because the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, they're supposed to be scary. They're supposed to make you think, I don't want to run into those, or, wow, they really are scary. Blue and the rest of the Raptor Squad, I mean, sure, like, they are Velociraptors, but they don't feel like Velociraptors. They just feel like, alright, come to Universal Studios and take your picture with Blue, and that's pretty much it. And if you like Blue, good for you. I'm not bashing you or anything like that. You have every right to like Blue, but I personally am just not a fan of Blue, so yeah. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's take a look at this figure. Starting off with the paint, and the paint on this figure it's not terrible, but it's not great either, so let's take a closer look. So, most of the figure is a greenish color, with a black stripe going down the body, which is not accurate, which would be fine, but the thing is, her name is Blue, and the reason why her name was Blue was because the blue stripe was going down the body. This is just black with green, which, no. They might as well color green instead of blue, but whatever. We have the JW logo right here. We have the dino damage, which is one thing I really like about this figure. It's just 3 slash marks instead of just like a giant like gash on the side of the body, so I appreciate that. We still have like, it's still molded in there, the dino damage, but it's not just red, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, the underside is a creamy color, which I don't think it's accurate. I'm not too sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. But the toe claws are painted black. And here's something I just noticed. The claws here are painted black. Here, they're painted black, but not all the way. As you can see, they are not painted all the way, which is very lazy and very sloppy on Hasbro's part. The camera and strap on the side of her head is painted brown with a red light for the camera there. And that's one thing I will say. I do like the fact that they included the strap from that last scene in Jurassic World, which in the movie it wasn't black, it wasn't brown, it was black, but it's still cool that they included that, but yeah. Anyway, the eyes are painted a kind of like a limeish color with black pupils. The teeth are a bonish white, and the tongue is painted purple. And that's pretty much it for the paint on this figure. It's not terrible, but it's not accurate either, and usually that wouldn't be a problem, but there's no bit of blue on this figure whatsoever, and yeah, so the paint on this figure, it's still very sloppy, so it gets a pass and a half. It doesn't look too terrible, but it is kind of sloppy, but yeah. Anyway, now taking a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is basic. So the arms can move basically like this. Oh, right. This thing just comes off. No forces needed, just that can come off, so if some kid wanted to walk into a Walmart, they could just pull that right out. So, yeah. The legs can move like this. And that's pretty much it. Also, if you push down on the tail here, then Blue does this. So, I guess that's neat. I don't really care. This figure as a whole is just trash. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation. It gets a pass and a half. It's basic. It gets a pass and a half. it's whatever. Now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpt on this figure is not good. So first of all, something that I just realized on this figure after owning it for like 3 or so years, but Blue only has one toe, or she has two, this toe and just one mutant toe with two claws, or two toe claws. And I mean, there's kind of a line there, but yeah, on this foot, it just looks like just one big gross looking foot, which, yeah, very lazy. I think her snout is way too long, and she does have a bit of an overbite. The dino damage is there. It's hard to notice because it's painted over, but it's still there, which is not the best. And just like with all the other Hasbro figures, we have screw holes on the other side of the figure. Also, we have all these different like gaps between the tail and the body, and all these like really big creases that look not good at all. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the sculpt. It's trash. It doesn't get a pass. It's just trash. So yeah. Yep. She also can't stand on her own. Instead of having her like this, or I just had it. Yeah, she can't stand. The reason for that is because of this. If you look at her feet, one foot is more to the ground than this foot, so one foot is just in the air, which I don't get how that happened, because the original figure didn't have that. In fact, it stood well. For some reason, it's a problem here. And I tried fixing this. I basically took a hair blow dryer and tried softening this up, but that didn't work at all, so yeah. And that's it for the sculpt, and just like what I said before, it's terrible, so yeah. I guess, so yeah. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is not good either. The detailing on the head is the best part, but it still looks kind of eh. We have some scales that do look nice. I will give the figure credit. The head scaling does look nice, but it's still not great. The strap and camera are painted okay. And then the rest of the figure is just poor in terms of detailing. All of the creases and folds in the skin look very not polished at all. They look very cheap. Even the legs and arms look very cheap as well in terms of detailing. I mean, the arms don't look too bad. You do have a noticeable seam right here. But, yeah. The tail is alright, I guess. Nothing great, but it's just alright. And that's all you need to know about the detailing. I know I missed out on a lot of spots, but most of the figure is just, you know, the same bit of creasing and, you know, the same folds and all that stuff. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail. And that's it for the detailing on this figure anyway. It's not great, so it does not get a pass. At the end of the day, should you get this figure? No. Don't get this figure for any price. Don't get it for a cent. Don't get this figure in general, because it's just a waste of space. Because back in the day, I bought a boatload of Jurassic World figures, because at the time, I didn't think there was anything wrong with them. Looking back, I can see that I was very, very uneducated, and these figures are terrible. There are some that are okay at best, but they're still not worth any, you know, any of your money. And I spent a good chunk of money on these figures. Looking back, I really wish I didn't do that, but I did, and there's no stopping that, so yeah. This figure is definitely the worst one I have on display. And actually, in 2016, they re-released this figure in a 2-pack with Owen, and Owen looks equally as bad, so yeah. At the end of the day, don't get this figure. If you do want a good Blue figure, then look no further. You don't have to pay much. This figure, at most, is like 10 or 14 bucks, which really isn't bad. But if you want a good Blue figure, go to Walmart and find the Battle Damage Blue, because this thing is really nice. The detailing is great, the sculpt is great, the articulation is great, and the dino damage is still there, but you can actually cover it up, which is great. The only thing is that, you know, that's kind of there, which isn't great looking, but yeah, it's still there. You know, everything about this figure is great, and especially for like 14 bucks, it's not bad at all. So if you want a good Blue figure, then definitely go to Walmart, because this figure will not disappoint you at all. So get this figure, don't get this. And if you want to know how big she is, here she is next to Dr. Billy Grant, and she looks a bit too big, but scaling as a whole with the Jurassic World toy line was pretty bad. It was even a problem with the Jurassic Park 3 toy line, but yeah. Anyway, at the end of the day, do not get this figure. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zek out. Oh, sorry.